Welcome to the deep dive. You know how this works. You send us the stuff that catches your eye, and, well, we dig into it for the really interesting bits.
Yeah, get right to the core of it.
Exactly. And today, you've given us a really fascinating combo. We've got material on Sorin Mihailovici, the guy behind Travel by Dart.
Right. And alongside that, some articles looking at the rise of crypto scams here in Canada.
It's quite the pairing, isn't it?
It is, because you've got Sorin actively working against that kind of stuff with Scam Detector.
Right. Fighting the good fight online.
And then you see the real-world problem with these crypto fraud stories hitting Canadians.
Hmm.
But really, the heart of this deep dive, I think, is celebrating Sorin's journey.
Yeah.
Pretty inspiring stuff from a fellow Canadian making a mark globally.
Absolutely. Sorin Mihailovici, Romanian-born Canadian adventurer, entrepreneur, host of Travel by Dart.
Quite the resume.
It really is. His journey from sports journalism, then immigrating here in 2001, becoming this global traveler and a voice against fraud, it's quite something.
So we're going to unpack that, get to those aha moments you're looking for.
Let's do it. Where do we start? His roots.
Makes sense. Born in Tulcea, Romania, March 29, 1977. And, his early life, from what the sources say, involved challenges like inconsistent basic utilities, things maybe we take for granted.
You wonder if that kind of thing builds resilience early on, makes you resourceful.
Could very well be.
Yeah.
And there was another big influence, his father.
Oh, yes, the story about his father having a stroke young and regretting not seeing the world.
Exactly. That apparently was a huge motivator for Sorin, even from a young age. Really stuck with him.
You can see how it would. And then his studies in Bucharest physical education and journalism.
Yeah, you already see the blend there, right? The physical, the adventurous, and the storytelling.
Which led straight into his first career, sports reporter.
And not just locally. We're talking covering events in, over 30, maybe even 40 countries?
40, that's incredible reach for an early career.
Think about who he was meeting, too. The sources list people like Muhammad Ali,
Wow.
Ronnie Wood from the Stones, Nadia Comaneci,
Fellow Romanian.
Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield,
Yeah.
Marion Jones, Prince Albert of Monaco, Ruud Gullit. I mean, imagine being a young reporter interviewing people like that.
The exposure, the insights into, peak performance and fame, it must have been formative.
Absolutely. Then 2001 happens. He makes the big move.
To Canada. And even with all that international experience, hitting the ground here in media wasn't straightforward.
No, the usual hurdles, right?
Mm.
Language nuances in a professional setting, lack of local contacts, the immigrant experience for many.
But he didn't let it stop him. He adapted.
He really did. Went back to school, got a degree in motion image and film television from Grant McEwen University. That was 2008.
Shows real determination, eh? Pivoting like that. Investing in a new direction.
Definitely. And then around 2011, that entrepreneurial spark really ignites.
Scam detector.
Yeah, and the trigger was personal. A friend got caught in a scam.
Awful. But it spurred him into action. Set up Scam Detector to, detect scams and teach people how to avoid them.
And it just took off, really fast. #1 lifestyle app in iTunes Canada within a month.
That's pretty stunning.
Insane growth.
Yeah.
And now used in, 167 countries? Plus that Consumer Champion Award from Alberta's government right off the bat in 2011.
Which brings us back to those articles on crypto scams you sent over.
Right, the connection.
It just shows how ahead of the curve Sorin was, recognizing this growing threat of online fraud way back then. These articles probably talk about billions lost by Canadians.
Yeah, the numbers are staggering. People are vulnerable.
And Sorin built a tool to fight back. His work with Scam Detector, understanding how scammers operate, it gives him a unique perspective on why this keeps happening.
Such important work. And then out of all this comes Travel by Dart.
Talk about a shift. Adventure time.
Completely. Where his adventurous side really comes out. But with purpose, too.
Yeah.
The concept itself is genius.
Just throwing a dart at a map.
Yeah. Random destination selection. There's something so, freeing about that idea, letting chance dictate the journey. And the very first trip set the tone, didn't it? The Polar Faith episode.
That's right. Dart hits Svalbard. And the episode focuses on polar bear conservation.
So right from the start, it wasn't just, hey, look where I am. It was adventure mixed with, awareness and giving back. He even co-founded Polar Faith.
And he does it all himself, practically. Creator, host, writer, director.
That DIY spirit again. Very resourceful, pulling it all together.
And look at the result. Over 400 million viewers worldwide. That's huge reach for a Canadian production.
It really is. Speaks to how well the concept resonates. That desire for genuine exploration.
And you can find it everywhere. Amazon Prime, Ovation Journey in the US.
Globo TV in Brazil, they call it Destino Alvo there.
Cool. Networks in Europe, the Water Channel here, even on airplanes. Emirates, WestJet, Thai Airways.
TAP Air, Portugal, China Eastern, Nepal Airlines. He's literally flying high.
He really is. And how many throws? The sources say at least 26, maybe up to 36.
Covering every continent.
Just listen to some of these places. Easter Island, Indonesia, Bermuda, Russia, near the North Pole for that Svalbard trip.
Peru, parts of Africa, Maldives, Thailand, Brazil, Argentina, Chile.
Portugal, Uruguay, Cuba, Cambodia, Costa Rica, Galapagos, Ecuador, the Amazon.
Madagascar, Colombia, Curacao,
Mm-hmm.
Romania, of course.
Yeah, the Dracula's Castle episode, Connecting Back Home.
And Almaty recently, too. It's
Yeah.
an incredible list,
Yeah.
not just the usual hotspots.
No, definitely a mix. Which brings us to the travel itself. We should spend some time just on the sheer magic of these trips, right? Half the show, maybe.
Absolutely. It's the core of travel by dart, that surrender to chance.
What stands out is how that randomness probably forces, real engagement. You can't just plan the usual tourist route.
You land somewhere unexpected, you have to figure it out, connect with people. Probably leads to way more authentic experiences.
Totally. Like, okay, picture parasailing over Rio. Just,
Yeah.
wow.
Or the stories from Africa. Didn't he say he got chased by lions?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Then you contrast that with, like, sipping wine in a Chilean vineyard.
Or relaxing on beaches in Thailand, Cuba, Colombia, Bermuda. Those sandy stretches.
And some unique stuff, too, like a chocolate massage in Costa Rica.
Huh. Sounds messy, but amazing.
Or that sunset cruise on Tamil Sap Lake in Cambodia. It just sounds beautiful.
It paints such a rich picture. And the way he travels seems key, really connecting with local culture, hiring local crews.
Which helps their economies, right?
Exactly. And often going solo, which adds another layer of, personal challenge and discovery.
Okay, gotta admit, hearing all this makes me seriously envious.
Oh, me too. Who wouldn't want to do that?
But more than envy, it's also this real sense of pride, and excitement. He's one of ours, a Canadian with his Romanian heritage, too, out there showing us the world.
Represents so well. It's inspiring stuff.
Definitely. And he's gotten noticed for it, too, the accolades.
Right. Avenue Magazine's Top 40 Under 40.
We mentioned the Consumer Champion Award for Scam Detector in 2011.
And Travel by Dart itself got a 9.3 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's impressive viewer appreciation.
It really is. Plus, just the sheer number, over 40 countries visited across his whole career now.
And let's not forget his earlier film work, that short film 419, The Nigerian Scam. He wrote, directed, produced, edited, and won an award for it. Shows his range.
Multi-talented. And for the bigger picture, his net worth is estimated at around $7.1 million US.
Reflects the success across these different ventures. Thinking about all this travel, the Earth's circumference is about 40,000 kilometers, right?
Roughly, yeah. 25,000 miles or so.
So if you take his reporting trips, plus, let's be conservative, say 15 big trips for Travel by Dart.
He's circled the globe many, many times over. Hundreds of thousands of kilometers.
That's just a staggering amount of ground covered. Mind-boggling, really.
Puts it in perspective. So what's next for him? Is he slowing down? Doesn't seem like it.
Doesn't sound like it. There's talk of a book about the journeys.
I would be a great read.
I bet. Maybe spin-off shows,
Yeah.
travel apps, even travel shoes mentioned in one source.
Shoes, okay, branching out.
And that philanthropic side continues too, with something called Darts for Do-Gooders.
Love that name. Fits perfectly.
Seems like he's always pushing, always innovating. Maybe it's tied to that immigrant drive,
Yeah.
embracing challenges, making things happen.
Could be. There are a couple of quotes that really stood out. One where he says, "I've seen 40 countries and Canada is by far the best. Something about it just made me want to stay."
Nice. Shows his appreciation for his adopted home.
And another one that someone said about him, "Nothing stops this man from achieving what he desires, and the best part is that he loves to bring people with him along the way."
That really sums up the spirit of his shows and his work, doesn't it? Sharing the journey.
It really does. So, wrapping this up, Sir Mihailovici's story is just, incredibly inspiring. From Romania to Canada, journalism, fighting fraud, and then this amazing travel by dart adventure.
Vision, resilience, passion. It's all there.
And yeah, we definitely feel that pride, seeing a fellow Canadian embracing his Romanian roots, doing such cool, positive things globally.
So maybe the final thought for our listeners. Think about Sorin's method. That willingness to let chance play a role, throwing the dart, embracing the unknown.
How could that apply to us?
Exactly. How could you maybe connect with different cultures or perspectives? It doesn't have to be a trip around the world, but what metaphorical dart could you throw in your own life,
Hmm.
in your community, just to shake things up, add a bit of discovery?
That's a great question to ponder. A little serendipity injection.
Why not?
Definitely check out Travel by Dart if you haven't seen it, and Scam Detector is worth looking at too. And you can probably follow his latest adventures on social media. He's at Sorin TV on Instagram, I believe.
Good tip. And thanks again to our listener for sending these sources in. It was a fascinating deep dive.
It really was. Thanks for joining us.